On this topic, joining me today in the studio is Phillip Lord. He is the CEO of Bitcoin Japan. Phillip, thank you for coming here and welcome to Wall Street Amina.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so straight answer. For you, what do you think we're looking at now when it comes to the AI era and investing early in this AI? How do you do that?
Yeah, I think this is the biggest, much bigger than the tech bubble. I think this is going to be a lot larger. I think there's so many exciting opportunities. We are investing in the later stage stuff. So we recently invested in SpaceX and Figure AI
Before the IPO as well.
before the IPO. Yeah, so we found a good price on that. And we're looking at all of the major top 20, top 30 companies. Like Anthropic, OpenAI. But there is a lot of liquidity in these names, so we're being opportunistic on price as well.
Yeah, you mentioned now Anthropic, OpenAI, and also Figure AI as well. You invested early before even it hit the public
On SpaceX, yeah.
on SpaceX, yeah, before it hit public markets. How do investors get access to that early on?
There is, some exchanges out there that are offering early access and an SPB wrapper. Or there's companies like Bitcoin Japan, where we're a publicly listed company in Japan, which is super liquid, compliant market and respected internationally. So basically they can buy companies like ourselves. There's also ones in the US, where we're investing our cash that we raise out of the stock market there and off of balance sheet into late stage growth.
You described, Phillip, your investment approach as barbell.
Yeah.
Before Bitcoin on one side, AI infrastructure on the other side. Why those two specifically and nothing else in between?
No, I mean, I think everything's connected. Humanoids are going to be using, digital currencies, Bitcoin being one of them, USDT and, pegged US dollars, another. And we're going to see the agent economy grow as well. I think Robinhood put out a piece today saying, that they're likely to see more agents trading than they are, customers. So, I think it's an exciting opportunity. And so we want to be invested in digital assets, but we also want to be invested heavily in the AI sector because the digital assets will power the AI economy.
Oh, wow. So you're trying to beat everyone to it now, like be the first one to get there, probably. So let's come to the Gulf now and how the Gulf is reacting also to this AI era that we're in. The Gulf sovereign wealth funds and PIF and MGX are making also the same bets on SpaceX, on Anthropic, on OpenAI as well. Do you think there's a global convergence happening around who owns this era we're in?
I think a lot of these, companies need a lot of funding, all right? And there's a certain amount of funding. You can get it from Silicon Valley, you can get it from Wall Street, but you can also get it from the sovereign wealth funds in the Middle East as well, like PIF and MGX. These guys are making strategic bets. Also, the UAE is so embracing of AI and, all the technology related to it. So, we're seeing Waymos outside and, lots of, the government's being run, some of the departments are being run on AI. So it makes sense for them to put, capital in and then deploy at a local level as well.
Yeah. Also, we mentioned Anthropic and OpenAI, and also I think Perplexity is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But those two are going to the open market as well and going both heading to public market. Which one do you think is the most compelling opportunity for investors right now?
I use both. I use all of them. So I think it's about price, and I think there's a bit of a, headlines out today on Anthropic with, what they're doing in the drug and pharmaceutical space. Yeah, that creates a lot of competition for their customers. So, that might create a bit of disruption on, B2B sales and in the short term, and then we've got headlines out on OpenAI that they're giving 5% to the US governments.
Yeah.
So,
I think this will affect.
I think, at the top end of the valuations, you've got to buyer beware at the moment. So we're being opportunistic. We'd like to see a bit of a 20 to 30% pullback in the secondary market on these names.
Yeah.
And then we'll buy.
Okay. Away from AI, you're also looking at rare earth
Yeah.
minerals. Yeah. So what do AI and space have to do with mining?
Yeah, look, we're looking at the bottom of the level. So rare earths make chips. We need chips to go into computers to drones, everything. So it becomes like a very much a sovereign risk from the US for Japan, because China dominates 80% of the rare earth market. So if you want to have security of supply, and Japan needs a lot as well. So, we're looking at, some mining, but we would be an investor, financial investor with a strong partner in the mining space. But that would give us security of supply for someone like Japan,
Yeah, well, definitely. We were just covering NVIDIA's the demand on the chips from NVIDIA as well. So your AGM, which Vivirat also talks about AI agents needing programmable money and stable coins to transact autonomously. How close are we actually to do?
I think people are transacting them right now. So I think by middle of next year there'll be more agents than there will be humans.
Wow.
So these are real customers to go after. I think the opportunity is huge. Whether it's just trading, whether it's just transferring in your bank, X money's coming out. I think that's going to be an exciting new product. Robinhood, all of these companies are launching a lot of agent products, and kids are building them. I've got 3 sons. They're all operating in AI every day and building stuff, and they need digital money.
Yeah, of course, a lot of movement at the moment where we're seeing actually happening. Do you think that's gonna affect every market, like in every region is the same thing that we're gonna see happening? We're gonna see more agents than actual humans?
Yeah, I think especially in the emerging markets, USDT has dominated those markets, because you don't have to touch the banks. You can transfer USDT instantaneously. Now imagine that with agents. This is going to be a lot more transfers, cross-border payments. It's going to make doing commerce a lot more easier. So excited about the future. I think traditional banks need to embrace and build their own.
I think we're seeing also with traditional bank here in UAE, they are trying to collaborate with part of this international structure that you have. Why is the UAE part of that?
We think, the UAE is so forward-thinking, So we wanted to set up an investment vehicle here so we could potentially invest into companies in the region, but also maybe do operational partnerships with companies here. So, yeah, we're excited about the region. We think it's very progressive. We want to be involved, and bar the setback this year, we think the growth rates will continue to grow for many, many years.
You said you're excited about the future.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to this region, when it comes, I think for the whole world at the moment, we're seeing a big shift happening. So 5 years from now, when you're looking at this future, what does the AI investment now actually would look like?
I think, we're going to be heavily, further into space. We're going to be doing a lot of data centers. Hopefully, it should be just kicking in data centers in space. I think the robotic and physical AI part of this era is just starting. We've seen companies like Figure, which we invested in and we love. But you've got Optimus, you've got Unitree. These companies are really scaling production. And I think we haven't had that quite ChatGPT moment, but because they've got production issues. But in the next 2 to 5 years, we're probably not going to be doing a lot of work. We're probably just going to be
Just sit
chill. Just sitting and chill, and we'll have these robots walking around with us. So I think it's an exciting time.
That's what they work with us, not against us.
Yeah. But I think it will be a better future, but you have to be adaptable.
Yeah,
So
that's the key word. I think you have to adapt to this future.
So embrace it and learn as much as you can. There's no barrier to entry on knowledge with AI, right? You can be a 7-year-old kid, and an 80-year-old mum, So there's nothing. We're all equal.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the opportunity.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for these thoughts and insights, especially about the future now, the future of AI and technology in this region and the world in general. Thank you for being here with us, Raju. Thank you.